Also adjust your camera a little bit because I can't entirely see. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Yes.
Let's begin this brief mindful moment by finding a comfortable seat. Feet flat on the floor, hands uncrossed. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now we are going to practice a mindfulness activity called Mindful Eyes. Look at the various objects around you. Notice their shape, their color, their texture. Now notice the space between them, the light and the shadows, the brightness or darkness of the surrounding space. Maybe even notice something you have never seen before. Now take one last breath, breathing in, breathing out, and slowly return to the room.
Great. Now, so this we did mindful eyes, right? So we looked around and basically, by this, you also see some things you probably haven't seen, and you learn to notice things in your environment, okay? But we're also talking about something which is called mindful listening. What do you think is mindful listening, Anirudh? Yeah, tell me. Listening everything very carefully. So, okay. So, like mindful eyes, what we did, we looked around, we like calm ourselves down, we sit down and like look around and see things that we haven't seen before. So we are paying a lot of attention. We are also putting all our focus in our looking. In mindful listening, we are doing the same thing but with hearing. Okay, are you there? Yeah.
The camera is always on, right?
Huh?
The camera is on.
The camera is on? Okay, fine. So mindful listening is basically not only paying attention, but also to sometimes focus all your attention to your ears so that you're really mindful, you're paying really attention to what you're hearing. So sometimes you also pay attention to the smallest and the most silent sounds that comes to you, okay? Most faintest sounds that comes to you. So, but we are dividing the word here into, so HEAR, so we are saying that it stands for a few things. So what is number one? H stands for what?
H.
So here, HEAR. So H is basically we are saying is halt. E we are saying is enjoy. A is ask. And R is reflect. Okay. Now we'll look at what all of these mean. Do you know what halt means?
What?
Do you know what halt means? If I say halt, halt means to pause or to stop. Okay, to practice mindful listening, what we do is we first stop or halt. So pause whatever you're doing. So you can't do 2-3 things all the time at the same time, right? You can't be listening to something, reading something, and thinking about something. So if you're listening to something, be sure you gather all your attention to listening. So that's what it's saying. Pause whatever you are doing and offer your full attention. Like in this class right now, you shouldn't be doing something else. You should just offer your full attention for 1 hour to me so that we can interact and go ahead with class, right? Next is enjoy. Okay, so enjoy a breath as you choose to receive whatever is being communicated to you, wanted or unwanted. So whatever I'm saying to you, you should like receive that. You should understand whatever you have to say, you can also say, so that we have a meaningful discussion. Okay. Number 3 is ask. So you ask yourself if you really know what I mean. And if you don't, ask for clarifications. If you don't understand something that I'm telling you, first you have to pay attention to know what I'm telling you, and then if you don't understand, you'll have to ask, right? So then only it's meaningful, otherwise it's not. If I'm saying something which doesn't make sense to you, then the conversation is not going forward. So instead of making assumptions, okay, instead of you assuming things, bring openness and curiosity to the interaction. Okay, you might be surprised at what you discover. So something very meaningful can come out of our conversation as well. Next is reflect. What is reflect? Do we know?
Yes.
What is the word reflect?
Reflect means get doing the same thing that is like a
Doing
mirror.
doing the same thing?
Doing the same thing what we like a mirror.
Ach, yes. Reflect, that way it's reflection in your, so it's basically reflect is whatever is happening, you pay more attention to again. It's like a mirror, yes. You pay attention to it again, and then you think what you just heard, and you basically sit and try to understand and like for it to seep into you. Okay, that's how we practice mindful listening. By that, we are able to understand what other people are saying better. We are able to communicate better. In general, it makes us a more wholesome personality. Okay, did we understand that?
Yes,
Do you think you're a mindful listener?
I don't know.
What do you think? Your opinion about yourself. Do you
Sometimes
listen? Sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't, but our goal is to mostly pay attention to whatever is being said. After that, if you want to follow, you will follow, but otherwise listening to someone doesn't mean you do it, whatever they're telling you to, right? Listening to someone means whatever they're telling, you're hearing it, then you can decide for yourself. Okay.
okay.
Okay, all right. So we're reading a story today. Has my slide changed for you?
No. Yes.
Okay, so what is the story called?
Messi, Jesse.
Messy Jessie. Okay, so I want you to read it once, Anirudh.
Jessie storms home from school. She got late from school. Now she has just few minutes to get ready for soccer practice. Jessie pulls off her green sweatshirt and tosses it on the floor. Hey, what's it? The sweatshirt yells. Then flings her cap. Ouch, it shouts. The bedroom is always piled with
Pile.
Jessie steps all over them looking for her soccer shirt. She doesn't hear the moans and groans. Then Jessie kicks her first purple shoes. She watches
Kicks off her.
purple shoes. She watches them sail through the air. Each shoe lands on the top. Oh, screams the shoes. Jessie pops onto the floor. She has red socks and red eyebrows each into a ball with her feet toss, Jessie plucks the silver waist coat, the socks complain. Hey, where are we? It's dark in here. Jessie dresses and dashes out of her room. We got to speak up, begs the sweatshirt. It's time to tell Jessie to take care of us.
Okay. So what did you understand from here? Is it a fantasy story?
Yes,
Yes. And what are fantasy stories?
that doesn't really happen.
That doesn't really happen. Remember, we had done a fantasy story where um it was basically the soldier who was talking to a dragon. We had done that, right? So this is also a fantasy story because it doesn't really happen in real life, and also a lot of it is written from imagination, right? So but then it's also sort of descriptive writing as well. Why is it you know what descriptive writing is?
Yeah.
What is this? No? Okay. Descriptive writing is basically, you know, what do you mean when I say, okay, Anirudh, can you describe yourself? What does that mean?
To describe myself.
Yeah. So if I'm asking you to describe something, then what am I asking you to do?
To describe something.
To describe something is to say very like intricate details about a particular thing. Okay. So sometimes for description, these are the 5 things that you have to keep in mind. I'm putting it in chat. Why, what, when, where, how. Okay. So when you're describing something, these are some things you can always, you know, write about or read about. So if I tell you, listen, Anirudh, can you describe your competition day? Okay. Write a paragraph and describe your competition day. So how will you start? You'll first start with why, uh, what, when, where, how, all of these. Okay. So why did you go for the competition? What was the competition about? When did it take place? Where did it take place? How was the process of it? And another things that you have to take in consideration while you're writing are your 5 senses. What are your 5 senses, Anirudh? Sense organs?
Touch, feel, smell.
Not really feel. Touch and feel mostly are the same thing. Yes, tell me. Touch,
Smell, taste.
Face, no. Sight. With
Taste.
eyes. Taste, taste. Sight.
That's it.
Sound.
Yes, here.
Sound also, right? So I've told you 10 things that you can take into consideration while writing descriptively. I'll set it in the chat as well. So when you're writing something about describing something, you talk about why, what, when, where, how, or also touch. Okay. So something, you know, it was really, you can describe how the bow felt when you were doing your archery, how the bow felt on your hand. Okay. So this is how it felt when I held it, and I was really excited maybe, or I was really anxious before my my competition. And then did you could smell excitement in the air. Maybe there were other kids as well, right? So you could smell excitement in the air. Did you eat something there? So like something you can talk about the taste, sight, what the entire competition area looked like, what sounds you were hearing of all the pitter patter of rain, maybe if there was any rainfall, or like all the students talking together. So all of this you have to take into consideration while descriptive writing. Okay, did you get that?
Yes.
So, do you think this passage which you just read is descriptive? Is it telling you a lot or not?
Yes, it is telling me a lot.
Okay, so I don't think it's extremely descriptive because what does it describe in this paragraph?
It is talking, it is describing about how the things of how the things feel about us.
How all the things are feeling, and also like we get a little idea about her bedroom, right? So is it very organized bedroom here? No. So how would you describe the Jessie's bedroom?
Dirty.
Dirty, messy, clumsy, and because why you see there's piled clothes all over, there's soccer shirt and all of that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have a game here. Okay. So you don't have to show an object, it's fine. But I will give you an object. I will tell you an object. You have to tell me if that object was talking to you, what would it say to you? Okay. Did you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm putting a few objects in the chat. Send the first one. You can take some time to write it down as well. But what do you think a school bag would tell you if he could talk to you? It could talk to you. You can write it down and then you can say it out loud. And I'm putting another one as well. So I put in the second one there as well. So maybe you can write what it would tell you, what you would say. Okay, so two dialogues each for both the objects. So first school bag has to say something to you and your reply to the school bag. And then second, bows and arrows saying something to you and then you reply to that if you could talk to them. I'll give you 1 more minute.
Yes, I am